I was not a fan of his. That I can tell you. I was not a fan of his.
Yet, a tape in the NBC archives of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention.
Donald Trump is in the news again for all the wrong reasons, as new footage in his sexual assault case has gone viral. The emergence of this footage has sent shockwaves across social media platforms, reigniting discussions surrounding the former president's controversial history. Not only that, his recent losses in his legal battles with E. Jean Carroll, which brandished him as a sexual bully, only served to highlight his bad behavior. In this video, we will examine the details of this viral footage and its potential impact on his ongoing legal battles. Donald Trump and the Epstein connection. If I said what I know about both candidates, they'd have to cancel the election. That's what Jeffrey told me in 2016. These are the words of Mark Epstein, the younger brother of late convicted sex predator Jeffrey Epstein. Mark was talking about the then candidates for the United States presidential election, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Mark was making this statement to a reporter from the New York Post. He further clarified by saying that he had no further information on what his late brother met. Whatever it was, Jeffrey played it close to his chest, but new light may be coming out with the unsealing of previously sealed court documents. The unsealing of these documents may unleash a whole flurry of scandals for several A-list celebs and high society bigwigs, but one person that seems to be on everyone's mind is Donald Trump. What these documents will have to say about him is going to be keenly watched by all. As everybody knows, Trump was very chummy with Jeffrey Epstein. These newly unsealed documents stem from Virginia Roberts Giuffre's 2015 defamation lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine is currently serving a 20-year prison term for trafficking women and girls for Epstein. Giuffre, one of numerous women allegedly abused by Epstein, filed the suit, and in 2017 some records were sealed for privacy. In December 2023, Judge Loretta Preska ruled that most records were already public. A total of 967 pages of documents were released over the course of a week. These unveilings provide insight into the disturbing dynamics surrounding Epstein's actions and what role Donald Trump may play in them. The name of the former president appears 4 times in a deposition given by Giuffre, which was released on January 9, 2004. Giuffre stated that she had heard rumors of the former president being at Epstein's residence, but never personally encountered him there. She further said she didn't think that Trump was involved in any activities. Trump's name is also mentioned later in the deposition, referred to as one of Epstein's well-known acquaintances. However, Giuffre's testimony primarily focuses on Maxwell's alleged role in recruiting her into Epstein's trafficking ring. She described being approached by Maxwell in 2000 while working as a spa attendant at Mar-a-Lago, which is mentioned over a dozen times in the depositions regarding Epstein and Maxwell's interaction with Giuffre. Giuffre has consistently stated that her contact with Trump was limited to his role as her employer at the resort. Among the unsealed Epstein documents, one email chain stands out though, a series of unverified claims from an alleged victim to a journalist in 2016. Sarah Ransom, accusing men of high stature, recounts her friend's purported sexual encounters with Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Richard Branson. Videos reportedly held by the friend were claimed but never provided. Most explosive, however, were accusations against Trump, described as one of many girls Trump allegedly met. Ransom claimed her friend's repeated encounters at Epstein's mansion, going into unsettling detail about Trump's supposed behavior. However, it's crucial to note these claims were later withdrawn by Ransom herself, casting significant doubt on their validity. Ransom's emails, however, are met with skepticism by Alan Dershowitz's attorneys, who highlighted inconsistencies within them. They emphasize the abundance of outlandish claims, citing Ransom's alleged contact with the Russians and a supposed encounter with Special Agents Forces men sent directly by Hillary Clinton. This casts doubt on the overall reliability of her accusations, including those against Trump. Anyway, in her final email, Ransom unexpectedly retracted everything, stating she wanted to walk away from this. No story based on her allegations was ever published. Ransom later admitted that she had lied when she claimed to have videos of the high and mighty indulging in sexual activities. She claims that she was afraid Jeffrey and Ghislaine would order her execution when she went public with her accusations. She fabricated the availability of video evidence to get them to not go after her. She made these known in her 2021 memoir, Silenced No More. Despite her involvement in lawsuits against Epstein, no evidence supporting Ransom's claims against public figures has surfaced in court records. Her deposition in the Giuffre Maxwell case yielded no such evidence, and the lawsuit she filed under a pseudonym against Epstein and others was settled a year later, leaving the public record without corroborating details. From the records, neither Clinton, Trump, nor Branson was accused of any wrongdoing by Jeffrey or anyone other than Ransom during Jeffrey's defamation lawsuit against Maxwell. Additionally, it is mentioned that Ransom's victim impact statement in federal court during Maxwell's sentencing did not specifically mention Trump, Epstein, or anyone other than Maxwell and Epstein. These documents only offer a murky view of the extent of Donald Trump's connection to Jeffrey Epstein. The glimpses offered through the lens of Epstein's alleged victims are only fleeting. In a 2016 deposition by Johanna Sjoberg, one of Epstein's accusers, Sjoberg claims she flew with Epstein on a private jet during her time under his thumb. During this flight, an unplanned detour to Atlantic City arose, prompting Epstein to cheerfully ask for Trump to be called up so they could go to a casino.
Amidst great hoopla this week, Donald Trump is opening his $1 billion Taj Mahal casino in Atlantic City.
While the specific casino escapes Sjoberg's memory, it probably could be one of Trump's casinos he had in Atlantic City. So, what do we know about the relationship between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein? Well, for starters, Trump himself claims to have known Epstein for 15 years, as when he made the statement in 2002. This would mean their relationship started sometime in the late 1980s. And as at the time Epstein died in 2019, they would have been friends for more than 30 years. Both Trump and Epstein are known for throwing parties, so it comes as no surprise that in a video taken sometime in 1992, Trump and Epstein can be seen joking around and ogling women. This party took place at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. Then there's the other one where they were photographed at another party in Mar-a-Lago. Trump was with his then-girlfriend Melania Knauss, while Epstein was with Ghislaine Maxwell. Other photographs of the two from the 1990s have also surfaced. None of these indicate that Trump was doing anything bad with Epstein, but his 2002 statement about Epstein might hint that Trump knew, if not about Epstein's actual activities, then he at least knew of his reputation. Trump, in fact, said in that statement that Epstein likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. These words seem to hold a deeper meaning than we might be privy to, especially in light of a woman using the aliases Katie Johnson and Jane Doe, who surfaced in 2016. Jane Doe made legal filings accusing Trump of sexually assaulting her in 1994 when she was only 13 years old. According to her claims, this assault took place during an orgy held at Epstein's residence in Manhattan. She also accused Epstein of sexually assaulting her. These allegations led to the filing of 3 separate lawsuits. Unfortunately, the first lawsuit was dismissed due to a failure to adequately present a legal claim, while the other 2 were voluntarily withdrawn by the accuser. Shockingly, the third case was withdrawn just days before the 2016 election, and the accuser canceled a planned press conference at the last minute. Lisa Bloom, her attorney, revealed that the woman had received death threats and was living in constant fear, causing her to be too terrified to show her face. As the bizarre lawsuit collapsed, it left behind a trail of smoke and mirrors. The anonymous accuser, shielded by silence, wielded corroborating whispers from unseen shadows. Orchestrating the drama were 2 figures: Al Taylor, a reality TV relic with unclear motives, and Steve Baer, a never-Trump crusader, slinging accusations like stale gossip. Also uncovered by the unsealed records, a housekeeper for Jeffrey Epstein testified that former President Donald Trump never received massages from women at Epstein's Florida home. Epstein, who died by suicide in 2019 while facing child sex trafficking charges, was known to have an obsession with receiving multiple massages daily from young women at his various residences. The transcripts are of a legal deposition of Epstein's housekeeper, Juan Alessi. Alessi confirmed that Trump would occasionally visit Epstein's home, but stated that Trump never stayed there. However, Trump would occasionally visit for meals. Alessi clarified that Trump never sat at the table and instead ate with him in the kitchen. When asked if Trump ever had massages while he was there, Alessi replied negatively, pointing out that Trump had his own spa. But for several years, more than 20 women have come forward and accused Trump of engaging in sexual misconduct. It's important to note that these women were adults at the time, and their claims were unrelated to Epstein. Nevertheless, what gives these accusations a bite is that in May 2023, federal jury held Trump civilly accountable for sexual abuse. E. Jean Carroll had accused Donald Trump of carrying out the abuse in the mid-1990s. She also sued him for defaming her by denying her rape accusation in 2022. As a result, he has been instructed to compensate Carroll with a total of $83.3 million in damages from 2 separate judgments. Trump is presently in the process of challenging the court's decision. Donald Trump and the E. Jean Carroll case.
New York jury says Donald Trump must pay writer E. Jean Carroll more than $83 million in a defamation lawsuit against him. The verdict was $18.3 million in compensatory damages and $65 million in punitive damages.
Let us elaborate on Donald Trump's two legal battles with E. Jean Carroll. The first one was brought in 2019 and the second in 2022. In November 2019, E. Jean Carroll filed a defamation lawsuit against Donald Trump, claiming that he had damaged her reputation and caused her emotional distress. Carroll accused Trump of raping her decades ago. Carroll's attorneys requested a DNA sample from Trump for analysis. In September 2020, the Department of Justice argued that Trump's response to Carroll's accusation was done in his official capacity. However, a U.S. District Court judge, or DOJ, rejected this argument, prompting an appeal by the DOJ. The District Court judge argued that DOJ lawyers should defend Trump as a federal employee. In January 2023, the D.C. Appeals Court heard oral arguments regarding Trump's defamation case. His lawyers argued that his comments were made within the scope of his employment, but judges questioned the applicability of D.C. law. Judge Catherine Easterly noted that employer liability cases typically have a trial record and jury verdict, while Judge John Howard questioned the need for further fact-finding. Later in March, the trial was postponed as the appeal court deliberated. Tentatively, the appeal court declined to determine if Trump was speaking in his official capacity, leaving it to a fact-finder instead. The Second Circuit Appeals Court decided not to decide on Trump's presidential role in making public comments about Carroll. Instead, they remanded the issue to Judge Kaplan in the U.S. District Court. The DOJ soon withdrew its position that Trump was acting officially. In March 2023, Judge Kaplan ruled that the Access Hollywood tape and testimonies of Jessica Leeds and Natasha Stoynoff would be admissible in the trial. Trump's defamatory post against Carroll in October 2022 was considered part of the evidence. Trump continued saying that Carroll's claims were a hoax and a lie, denying any involvement with her. Donald Trump was deposed by Roberta Kaplan, the lawyer representing E. Jean Carroll. During the deposition, Trump claimed that he usually had security guards with him, but could not remember any working for him at the time of the alleged incident. He denied reaching out to the department store before making his statements in 2019, and accused Carroll and her lawyer of being aligned with Hillary Clinton without any evidence. In addition to this, Trump threatened to sue Carroll and Kaplan after the deposition and accused Carroll of attempting to sabotage his 2024 presidential campaign. He also made incorrect statements about Carroll's CNN interview and his own alleged assault in an attempt to discredit her claims. Back in November 2022, Carroll had sued Trump for battery under the Adult Survivors Act, which allows for civil suits beyond expired statutes of limitations for sexual assault victims. She also renewed her claim of defamation, citing Trump's statements on Truth Social. The second suit alleged that Trump physically and sexually assaulted Carroll, leaving her unable to develop sexual relationships. Carroll sought damages for both charges and requested that Trump retract his statements about her on Truth Social. Trump's lawyers argued that the New York law was invalid due to conflict with the state's constitution. Trump's lawyers requested the dismissal of the defamation